into the game right now, and on Overgrowth in the top right corner, it is playing in blue, grubby subscriber Weiman. Nice.
Beautiful. And his opponent is going to be the green Terran player in the bottom left, and that's going to be Iznobest.
Iznobest, of course, from team Altijd Raak met Sjaak. Two of his teammates have already qualified for bootcamp. It's actually pretty insane because I told you before, in 2012 I organized a student tournament in Nijmegen, and 2 of the 5 people who've qualified so far have also played in this student tournament. I would like to think that I inspired these guys to pick up Starcraft more diligently than other games. So far it has paid off because 2 of them, RBVH and also Meow, are both from Altijd Raak met Sjaak, which by the way is not a real professional team looking for players or anything, just a group of friends. But they're doing well for themselves, and Iznobest scouting. If he were up against Protoss, I would wager a hell of a lot of money on him planting down either a supply depot or engineering bay between the Nexus and a assimilator, but now he's up against Terran, so I don't think we'll be seeing any of that, although we might. But that is a classic Iznobest move. We'll just have to see what Weiman brings to the table against Izno. I think Weiman has been playing a bit more actively than Iznobest over the past couple of months, but not a lot more active. Both of these players have been a bit inactive recently, so we might see some older style TVTs.
Yeah, this is old school you're talking about, because look, none of those guys opened gas first, which is the pretty much, I'd say, the most common opening for TVTs these days. Instead, both of those went for barracks first, and Weiman, on top of that, he blocked his main ramp with a supply depot to prevent his opponent from knowing if the gas had gone down or not, which is why Iznobest is still hanging around with that SCV. And this is probably an expansion build from both, but Iznobest is a little bit more in the dark, since Weiman knows what is up. He didn't see any gases, he saw the SCV on the low ground, he saw the Marine, so he knows everything. Unfortunately for Weiman, having blocked that ramp, that's not doing him any good right now, because he's putting the expansion on the low ground instead of inside of his base, so he's giving his cards away.
Both scouted and harassed, although this Marine, yeah, there we go, Marine's going to take care of business. Although, yeah, the SCV might need to just scoot away for just a little bit before it gets taken out. Yes, no SCV, you're not going to get up inside that base. Supply depots are retractable, and this one just popped up. And also Marines, bullets, stop that SCV. So far, pretty much identical builds for these players. Although we see gases for Jeroen now, for Weiman. No gases yet for Iznobest, but I imagine they will be coming up.
Oh, this is why he's adding on an additional barracks. So he's going to play very heavy Marine style with only 1 gas, I imagine. No, 2 gases. Okay, so he's not going to be getting the factory as fast as Weiman will be.
Izno likes a lot of Marines and a lot of Marauders, actually. Like a more than usual amount of Marauders mixed in with his Marines, I think.
Oh,
and, actually, Weiman prefers to play mech, as far as I can tell, in TVT. But so far he's definitely not doing it. If he were to go mech, then this aggressive Marine Marauder style would be definitely a problem.
I think he might be going for a 3rd CC, maybe, as well. Because I can't imagine for the life of me why he would be mining with only 4 SCVs off of his refineries instead of 6. Because his mineral income is slightly higher than his gas income should be. And now, okay, so it was because of the engineering bay. So he's pretty much going to be having approximately the same production as his opponent with 3 barracks, the later factory, but he did get that engineering bay slightly faster. And did it get scouted just now?
Yeah, both of them, they both scouted each other's main bases right now. At the very same time. I think that's the reason for the smileys there.
Yeah, but Iznobest did not see the engineering bay.
Oh, barely scooted it past it. Right, you're right.
And Weiman is going to start getting that +1 attack straight away. So this is actually a really smart build that Weiman is doing. He's going to have approximately the same number of units, the same production capabilities. He's going to have those combat shields as well. But on top of that, he should have the +1 attack, but strangely enough,
he cancelled it.
Wow, why did he do that?
I was like, hey, that's funny, the engineering bay doesn't have an animation when it's researching, but then it wasn't researching, so...
Wow.
Now it is. All right.
Okay, so he did get the factory before that upgrade. I mean,
I'm sure he'd already started it, and then he cancelled it. And I'm pretty sure I saw it on the production tab before. So.
That's interesting.
All right. Iznobest's first push always comes before medevacs.
Yeah. Either way, Weiman will have to wait a little while for that +1 advantage kicks in. He does have a factory finished as well, while Iznobest is only just now getting his. And Weiman is down on supply, but that's the difference in the army supply, because he got his barracks slightly later, he did get that engineering bay faster, and he did get that factory, and he's now building the starport. And he's building, slowly he's building those add-ons, whereas Iznobest already has those done, so he's producing quite a bit of Marines compared to Weiman. Weiman, I don't know if he knows this push is coming, probably not, and he's going to have a tough time holding if he doesn't know this is coming, because he should have had 1 or 2 more bunkers down. Okay. At least 1 bunker would have helped a ton. Yeah,
but I think this is a no-go for Iznobest. With the bunker and approximately a similar number of Marines. I mean, this is 3, 4, 6, so that's 20 Marines for... Oh, wait, look at the units tab. There we go. 20... Okay, so 31. But Iznobest definitely did not have all of his Marines with him there. So maybe he's going to go back, gather them up.
CC?
Going to see at the front. He did this before as well. This is not, I think, a move to distract his opponent's army if it pushes up, but this is just a position. Alright, both players commenting on how they're doing, how both of them are going for old school builds.
Yeah.
That's actually right, yeah.
We gathered as much. Now with a quicker starport, Weiman is going to be able to start doing the drops. That's going to be nice for him. If he can get the drop in and snipe a couple of SCVs and get out unscathed, that would be nice. Missile turrets going down in Weiman's base as well. And he's ahead greatly on those upgrades. I mean, he is going to have such a strong mid-game, I feel.
Well, he does have to continue his upgrades if he wants to do that. Of course, his armor is now coming on. But if he... do you think he's going to push right after +1 armor finishes?
He could. Or he could push before with those medevacs and then just continue the push as the +1 armor finishes up. I'm not sure if he knows the upgrade standings of his opponent. I'm not sure if he checked, but he could definitely go for that 1-1 timing. I wouldn't be surprised, at least.
Well, then I think around now would be the time for him to start moving out. 80 in-game seconds left, and right as I say that, oh my god, I'm starting to sound like a real caster. Jeroen moves out, and he stims a couple of units, sends them ahead. Just 3 Marines, but that's enough to take out the 1 Marine guarding the watchtower without suffering any losses. And this is really cool because, of course, both of these watchtowers, they are being held by Iznobest, and both of them together scout the entire middle of the map, but I think Iznobest could have seen Jeroen's army move, so Jeroen wasn't quite slow enough with bringing up his army. Actually, 2 armies now facing in the middle of the map. There's no upgrade difference currently. The +1 armor for Jeroen hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, he's probably going to wait for that a little bit, siege up his tanks, get into a good position, and then he's just going to try to bait Iznobest's infantry into the tank fire. But Iznobest, of course, has his Marines on a hold position, so that's not going to happen. And here's where the upgrade difference will be seen, but Weiman has to stop standing in the siege tank line of fire for that to happen. He does deny the 3rd base, however, and more reinforcements are coming in. I think with those reinforcements, when they do come in, Weiman is going to try to sprint forward, or he can try to play it safe, contain his opponent a little bit on 2 bases, and take his 3rd. And as I say that, he starts a 3rd command center, so yeah, I don't think he'll be rushing into anything headlong anytime soon. Whoa!
Speaking of rushing in, that tank rushed in and played with his life for that little decision there. I think Iznobest is holed up pretty tightly here, and I don't think Jeroen will be able to push through right now, especially with the smaller amount of tanks that he has at the front. Oh, actually a move out from Iznobest. No, thinks better of it. I fear for Jeroen. I think he could easily overstay his welcome here at the front.
Well, he could, but he's not planning on killing his opponent. He's planning on expanding, so he's going to stay for as long as it takes for him to secure that 3rd base. And
but if he doesn't... Oh, here we go! Here we go! Flies off! And
nice move.
I think that was a good move, because I think he may have lost his entire army, and then things might have changed, because then he's instead of containing him and expanding, he'd be defending and unable to take his third that he'd been preparing for.
Yeah, very good move by Weiman right there, moving back. But you know, all he attained here, or all he achieved, was pretty much just equalize the game, because while this was going on, he completely forgot to queue up his 2-2 upgrades. So the upgrade war, he's still going to be a little bit ahead because his opponent is missing that +1 armor, which he never queued up. But in terms of attack upgrades, you know, he could have been more ahead. I'm going to put it like this.
Maybe if you just chrono boost them out.
Yeah, I think in... What's the mod called? Starbow, I think. You can chrono boost something or use a similar ability as a Terran player that the chrono boost has, but I'm not entirely sure. Fortunately, this is Heart of the Swarm, so no such things are going to be happening right now. But all in all, you know, both players neck and neck, I'd say right now. The tank count is very similar, the marine count is really similar, the base counts are similar, or, you know, exactly the same. Army sizes, harvesters, Weiman just slightly ahead. We're going to have to see when those... that could. But he needs to wait for those 2-2 upgrades.
Too many tanks for Iznobest there. I think Jeroen is in for a big volley. There we go. Yeah, definitely retreats there. Good call.
That was a very good trade for Weiman to take, actually, because Iznobest just rushed towards that watchtower without actually knowing what was there, and he lost a sizable chunk of his army, of his infantry, and a couple of free tanks to boot. So Weiman's got to be feeling very good about that trade.
Oh, but he shouldn't make the same mistake as Iznobest just did. Iznobest now holds the watchtower, has a very long range of vision for his tanks there. But Jeroen has a lot more units here. In terms of army supply, he's almost doubling Iznobest, so he might actually just force the issue here. And I think, I think he does. Cleans up all the tanks.
Very nice positional play by Weiman. He saw those tanks were exposed at the front, so he was like, okay, I'm just going to snipe the first couple of tanks. That will give me an advantage, and then I'm going to finish off your infantry with my own units. Good call.
Yeah, unfortunately, Iznobest complaining a bit about lag. That's always terrible if you have lag. Last time, indeed, he crashed. His game crashed on this map, and we had to resume from replay, which was pretty cool to see. But still, it's annoying that apparently he has issues on this map. So that's a shame. I hope it won't affect his play too much. I think though that Jeroen is in a position that I'm not sure if it matters how much control Iznobest exerts, because. Yeah, the supply is doubling, and there goes game number 1 to grubby subscriber Weiman.
Grubby subscriber?
Yeah, that's what the gSub is for, so grubby subscriber. Yeah. If you look at his decal, you'll see a floating grubby face next to his command center.
That's really... that's a funny thing. And also a good thing, I'd say. It's really awesome.
Alright, we're just gonna scroll through the chat and see if people knew what the clan was for...
Iznobest.
No, not Iznobest. Who have been casting before? What the?
Oh, you mean the ETL?
ETL, yeah, exactly. From Pro Salatos, of course, yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat as well. So I haven't seen if anybody answered my question. Sorry about that, guys. Maybe you should tweet it at me. It's easier to find. We have our good old head marketing Thomas on the Twitters tonight, so if you tweet it at him, he'll be able to let me know. Alright. What's this? Another follower on Twitch. Thank you, Liquid Ryan, for following us. Do follow his example if you haven't already. And thank you for joining us tonight. We are watching the 6th qualifier for DSCL Bootcamp, the 6 winners. The players cannot be ranked higher than Diamond League and have to speak Dutch. And the 6 winners will come to my living room on November 22nd, 23rd, where they will be coached by Grubby and Yona for a full weekend, and we'll stream the whole thing. You can watch, you can ask questions, you can join us on Saturday evening for drinks in the city center of Nijmegen. So do that, it's going to be fun. And we are waiting for the second game in the series between Iznobest and Weiman. We just saw Weiman take game number 1 in the TVT. So far we have no Terrans qualifying for DSCL Bootcamp. So I am kind of rooting for Terran players to make it through today. Jeroen, one of them. Iznobest, the same. And let's see, the other round of 8 matches have also been decided. Hendronimus from Belgium. Also from ECV, lots of ECV people in the brackets tonight. Hendronimus is up against Net Forces. Epic Foul, who we saw beat Salad Toss, is now up against Smoked You, and don't start with the Smoked references again.
Please no.
Smoked You, I think Smoked You is from AT Gaming as well. Epic Foul, Double Dutch Dragons. ECV's Liquid also made it through. Of course, we saw him make it through to the round of 8. Sutenga has beaten AT's Timmy. So that's Sutenga versus Liquid. Epic Foul versus Smoked You, Handronimus versus Net Forces, and finally Iznobest versus Weiman, the match that we are casting right now. And the winners of these matches will go on to the semi-finals tonight, which will also be best of 3. The finals are best of 5.
Alright. Looks like the second map is going to be Nimbus.
Alright, Iznobest has picked this map, because the loser picks the map. Alright, good job, guys. Ready when you are. That's just what I was typing just now, in case you were wondering. Alright, players are ready. I think Wish, our admin Wish, is still the host. There we go. He starts the game, and I'm looking forward to it. I like watching TVT, Bell.
Me too.
Eternal Esport. I just, in a blink of the eye, I saw it. Wish or Livian. I'm not sure. One of them. I just saw a blink of it. Eternal Esports apparently is the clan that Pro Salatas was with, or is with. So pretty cool. Alright. I wonder if they have a Dutch section for their Starcraft team. If yes, they should send a promotional video of their team to me so that I can broadcast it during DSCL Bootcamp. Alright, let me set this right. Here we go, jumping into game number 2 between Weiman and Iznobest. In the bottom left corner of the map, playing in blue, it is grubby subscriber Weiman. Currently up 1 game.
And his opponent spawning at the 5 o'clock in the bottom right corner of Nimbus is going to be the green Terran player Iznobest. Iznobest.
Pretty cool. I think we're going to see a standard game out of both of these players again. And in fact, not only standard, but maybe also old school. What do you think?
You know, this map, being what it is, kind of promotes Command Center first play. Because you have an in-base expansion, so why not make use of that? The natural ramp, or the main ramp into your main base, is very easily blocked off with 2 buildings, so you can get barracks there later on. You don't no need to scout very early if you don't want on a big map. You can, for example, if you open with a Reaper, you can go for a later scout. But this also, you know, if you know this is a macro map, you can go for a quick 1 base 1-1-1. You know, kind of a cheesy opener.
The 1-1-1.
Yeah, or a you know, aggressive opener versus your opponent, and he might not expect that, because he would be like, oh, this is a macro map, so both of us are probably going to be playing macro. Well, bollocks, as the WCS showed us recently.
That is what that is where the mind games, of course, come into play. We see this is a 4-player map. Players can spawn in any position, and Iznobest is going to get lucky because the first position he scouts is where Weiman is actually at. Judging by Weiman's scouting position, he might find Iznobest only at the very latest of times. Although, judging from the timing at which Iznobest's probe arrives at his base, Weiman could deduce that Iznobest is not the cross position. Although I don't think he did, because he's just moving up to the other position as well.
Yeah, he's just going to check for that as well, just to be sure. I mean, it's one of the worst feelings in the world when you're playing on a big map and you're like, oh, I see your SCV, so you must be in the bottom right. And then you reroute your probe. It goes cross map, which is the longest distance. It arrives at the bottom right position and nothing's there. And you're like, crap, now I can't scout, because by the time I get to the top right, he's already going to have a Marine out. So that's a very bad feeling to have. And I would say, in terms of spawn positions, I would give Weiman slightly the upper hand, because in terms of getting more expansions, he did get the better trade, I feel like. This natural from Iznobest is going to be very likely assaulted via air, so Iznobest, you know, this is not overgrowth. This is, you have a ramp that you have to bust if you want to attack, so such a strategy as Weiman employed in the game number 1 is likely not going to work as well on this map. So Iznobest and Weiman both know they can play defensively. So Iznobest, I think what he'll try to do is look out for drops into his natural base over here, and then he'll fight for center control of the map so that he can drop Wyman's expansion while he is attacking along the bottom side or potentially to the 9 o'clock expansion and trying to keep that from mining. So Iznobest is going to have to be the aggressive guy on this map.
Did you just ping the map, by the way?
No, I did not.
So someone pinged the map.
Must have been Wish.
Must have been Wish.
So, yeah, I think Iznobest, the ball is in his court. I think he'll have to think of something because Weiman, with his spawn position, he can play defensively. I don't think Iznobest will have that luxury.
No, I think you're quite right. Iznobest, by the way, going for this third command center for just extra pro production and maybe, well, what's the reason for this third command? Is he like you said going to be defensive for a little bit and during that time can use some extra economy while he's defending his front? But then by the time, oh, there we go, gets scouted immediately. By the way, this third command center right as it finishes up.
Nice scan there by Weiman.
I lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, happens sometimes.
Happens. Yeah, you know, I've been debating philosophy all day, so you know.
Understandable.
Understandable. Alright, did he just have to move his barracks to put the add-on on?
Yeah, you kind of have to do that.
Okay, so it's 1 hex more to the top when you build it. Okay.
So both players doing pretty much a very similar build, or exactly the same build in terms of, you know, when we look at what Wyman's doing. But Iznobest, he's getting that engineering bay up way quicker than Weiman. He kind of skipped that a little bit in game number 1, but he's not forgetting it in game number 2. That does delay his factory a little bit, but he's not going to be behind on upgrades too much compared to Weiman. He already has that engineering base selected, and there we go, bam, +1 attack. So I think he's going to have a better time on this map than in game number 1. Stim is on the way as well, whereas Weiman still did not get his Stim. And I don't know, that may have been a mistake. I mean, there's no reason he should not be getting Stim. He had the gas for it before. So he still has the gas for it. So there we go. Finally, Stim going down. But that's a full minute later than it should have been clicked on.
Well, we're gonna have to see if that comes into play. Of course, if there's a big engagement before that Stim finishes, Jeroen's gonna be kicking himself in the well, a chair or whatever he's sitting on.
Well, the +1 and Stim should line up pretty nicely to finish at the same time for Iznobest. So if he's he does have the starport on the way as well. He's adding on additional add-ons to his building, so he'll be able to produce medevacs 2x2. He's getting a second factory. This might be a very heavy timing attack that we'll see here. Maybe even with Hellbats, or maybe he just wants to go into +2 very quickly. Yeah, probably for +2, that armory there and the engineering bay. But still, if he goes for a timing around the Stim and +1, Weiman could be in a lot of trouble.
Yep, and you see how much difference a single upgrade can make. But Weiman if he stays at the top of his ramp, he has such tremendous defender's advantage. I'm not sure if even the Stim upgrade is going to make a difference. By the way, Jeroen loading up a lot of his units into medevacs. They're going to try to drop, that, just like you said. There are 2 missile turrets there defending him. Though I'm not sure if the bottom missile turret, well, it can defend against medevacs trying to fly by the bottom.
This is actually wise. He used the boost, and now he's waiting for the boost to recharge before he moves again, so that he can boost past the missile turrets. Look at this. Oh, he's not using the boost. What the fuck?
No! Loses both the medevacs. Yes. Alright, so these Marines will definitely die, although they may do a bit of damage before they go down. Oh, they get stuck in a very awkward position there, so this has not been a very successful push for Jeroen. Some mining time was lost, 1 missile turret died, but in return he lost 2 medevacs full of units.
Yeah, he did kill 6 SCVs and a couple of Marines. Let's take a look. 6 Marines, 6 SCVs for 2 medevacs and 16 Marines. Not a good trade. Nope. I was almost 100% positive that Weiman was just waiting for the boost on those medevacs to recharge and that he would boost past the turrets so that he would have the option to, I don't know, maybe load up again and evacuate in between those bases and just shoot out of there.
But look at
Not
the production machine that Iznobest has set up right now. He's rolling, he's working on his supply. He's not going to get supply, but there's a huge stream of units moving towards Jeroen's base right now. And although Jeroen's stim has finished by now, the amount of units... Well, actually, army supply is pretty similar. The advantage that Iznobest has in terms of supply is all in workers. So I might be mistaken that this is a good timing for Iznobest to push.
I think it's a decently good time. But he needs to have all of these... Oh, this is a nice move. The flank at the bottom. He's trying to set up, and he's going to probably try and sandwich Weiman's units. He has 2 tanks there. And with 2 factories, double producing tanks for Iznobest, he's going to shoot way ahead of his opponent on tank count. So, you know, if he plays this right... Oh, the Sansa Tower just now finished, and that gave his plans away. But still, Iznobest, his positional play is rather good.
Yeah.
I have to say, he's playing this map beautifully. He knows he cannot allow Weiman to get that 3rd base up, because otherwise he would have troubles maintaining his own 3rd and natural as well.
Oh, Jeroen pushing up towards the siege position of Iznobest. Iznobest has all his units together here, so this is a very dangerous push for Jeroen. And in fact, I think all of his marines are going to be evaporating in the face of this bunker and the tank on top of the high ground there.
Beautiful play by Iznobest. Great position for him that he set up. And Weiman was, you know, he was a little bit hasty to eliminate that contain. He could have waited that out a little bit and find a way around or flank his opponent from the top. Anything, just not a straight head-on engagement. That was a little bit foolhardy.
Wow. Again, one engagement makes such a big difference. TVT is a dangerous game. Definitely. Right,
so, an ace match it is.
Ace match it is, yep. Looking forward to it. Alright, now I've got time to look at this. Okay, so actually it was one of our other admins, Mortem, who explained that that Pro Salatos is from Eternal Esport. Pretty cool. Yeah. I think it's strange that Iznobest has problems specifically on overgrowth. Maybe it's some kind of bug in the map that, you know, that his CPU can't deal with. I don't know. It's strange, but we've seen what he can do if he's not lagging, and that is beat Jeroen. So it is gonna come down to this ace match, and unfortunately for Jeroen, he can't pick overgrowth for the 3rd map because it's already been played in the series. So we're gonna have to see which one that is. And Jeroen, of course, feeling the nerves. He's been trying to get through to the finals for a long time, and so far has not been successful. There we go. People in the chat saying that. Asking themselves whether he or one of us just said the F word.
Yeah, that was me.
Did you say fuck? No,
yeah, I did. Did you just now said fuck?
You should say fuck. We shouldn't say fuck. No, we shouldn't say fuck. Fuck. No.
Stop it! Damn it! We're just racking up the F word count so quickly right here.
All right. Well, this stream is I think it's PG enough. I mean.
Yeah, I think it's.
I don't care
PG
about bad words so much.
But it was a WTF situation in those medevacs. I mean,
I see El Condor in the chat. Hi, guy. I think I saw you not confirmed for today. I probably didn't make it on time, but all right. Cool that you're here to watch the games. Anyhow, both of the players are in the lobby, ready to play. So game is starting. Pretty cool. The map, Catalina. Catalina.
Good map for aggressive drop by. Very good map. Also good map for Banshee openers.
I like these kind of predictions or analyses at the start. And see if they hold true.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Jumping into the game right now at the 9 o'clock position. Playing in blue, grubby subscriber Weiman.
And his opponent, having taken the previous game, is going to be Iznobest, the green term player spawning at the 5 o'clock position.
I'm gonna have to ask Wish if he keeps saying this, right, which I like. I mean, he says Dutch esports fighting, that he does stick to the proper spelling of esports, which is just an E with an apostrophe, not an apostrophe, sorry, a dash, and then sports without a capital letter. I mean, that's just silly. You wouldn't write email without a dash. And,
how do you write e-learning in Dutch?
E-learning, just E and then hyphen, dash. Wait, hyphen isn't the same as dash, is it? Or is it?
It's similar.
I think it's okay. Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm confusing with slash now. Okay, so just E dash and then learning. E-learning.
With a
e-learning.
lowercase L.
Yeah, just lowercase.
Okay, so you should write esports the same way.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to school Wish in that because I started the foundation to facilitate these kinds of tournaments, and it's called the Dutch Esports Foundation, and it's written as E-sports in lower. Well, the E is a capital letter because it's the name of the foundation, but no reason to capitalize the S there or skip the hyphen. So I'm gonna be a grammar Nazi here, or that's actually not a grammar Nazi, more like a spelling Nazi.
Well, Weiman wasn't paying attention there for a little bit, I think, because he did see the direction that the SCV came from, and he could have already rerouted his SCV, but he's not doing that, so he must have missed it on the minimap. Unfortunate.
He was, however, paying enough attention to throw up once again this supply depot, preventing the probe from scouting it.
I think he's got the timings down for this supply depot. Just Oh, he actually what?
What?
Weiman just lost his building SCV?
Yeah, I didn't even know he was killing that. I thought he was attacking the supply depot, but he killed the working SCV. Wow.
Oh. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Alright, so one SCV loss for Weiman already. And this blue SCV that is going to scout the main base of Iznobest is probably going to arrive and be shot at by the Marine. So Weiman will get 0 scouting done. Too bad he wasn't paying enough attention to the minimap before. Yeah. Oh, he does see the command center.
That's good.
So that's a good piece of information for him.
Definitely. That tells him that at the very least he's not up against a player going for double gas, and most likely, in fact, a player that has no gas so far.
Yeah. So probably the same builds. Second barracks going up for Iznobest. Weiman will most likely be doing the same.
Alright. People in the chat, I see them ask questions like, if I speak Dutch. Yes, I can speak Dutch.
I cannot speak Dutch.
Alright. Oh, you can speak some words in Dutch.
Yeah, I know goedenavond. That's...
Goedenavond.
Goedenavond. That's all I know. But nothing much more. So let's take a look. Weiman opting to go for those double gases before adding on additional barracks is no best. He did add on at least one more barracks before taking those gases, so his tech is going to be slightly slower. It might be the +1 upgrade, it might be the stim, who knows, but definitely he'll have... it's going to even out eventually if Weiman adds on the third barracks. If he doesn't, then Iznobest is going to have a larger Marine force initially. Good micro by Iznobest, by the way. Retreating the Marine instantly as it got shot on. He could have lost that.
Well, explain to me the logic of patrolling these units at the top of the ramp. Weiman was patrolling some of these Marines at the top of the ramp. How is that different from just having them stand there?
They're moving, so they don't have to accelerate. That's the only advantage I can think of. Okay. And you know, it's a small area, but you can also be patrolling across a bigger area. If it's a bigger ramp, for example, so you'll have an easier time catching units without looking and controlling. I mean, generally, I actually also patrol my, like when I send a worker to build an expansion and I'm missing 50 minerals or something, I just set it on patrol.
All right.
I'd never just let it stand there by itself. So.
Because
it's just something you do.
Right, it's keeping your hands busy, but also has a minor advantage.
Yeah.
Look at this, all this patrolling over here, man. Zoom in on that.
You should see Reapers doing this, like 20 Reapers patrolling across in a circle.
Burning up all that fuel.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's actually a pretty good picture. Alright, so a third command center rather quickly going up here for Iznobest. He is also getting the stim, but nothing much else. Adding on a factory, skipping the engineering bay for now, so he'll probably add on double engineering base later as he gets his third base up. Weiman is playing a little bit slowly, still not getting that +1. He's doing the same build as he was doing in game 1, so once more Iznobest ahead on stim timing, and slightly behind he'll be on upgrades. But if he can get that third base up and running in a decent amount of time, he'll have a more robust economy compared to his opponent.
Alright, so Iznobest went for stim before combat shield. Jeroen did it the other way around.
Yeah.
Does that tell us something about the kind of game that they have in mind?
Well, it kind of tells you that Weiman wants to play defensively and is not looking for a quick timing because like if you put those two against one another, having combat shields before stim is actually more beneficial if you're playing defensively. Yes, stim gives you additional movement and faster firing rate, but it takes down 10 of your marines hit points, which the combat shields they give you those 10 additional hit points. So as soon as your opponent tries to attack and he stims, you are immediately 20 hit points in advantage on every single marine. So the likelihood of him winning the battle with even number of marines is 0 to none.
Why then would anyone ever go for stim first? I mean, even for the attacking player, it seems to make more sense to just go for combat shield.
Yeah, it does, especially if you're pushing out with tanks or if you're going with medevacs. But then again, you might catch your opponent in a bad position, and with stim you can try to out-micro your opponent. You cannot out-micro against stim because your units are not as fast. But if you have a really good micro, you can just bank on the fact that your micro is superior to your opponent, and then that way you might be able to outlast him in a fight.
Alright, we see not only a command center flying out from Iznobest's best base, but also a medevac full of units. Or actually not full of units, 6 marines in there. Could definitely rough things up inside the main base. Not a lot of defenses there for Jeroen. Of course, he has his units popping out, but currently had a ever so tiny supply block there. Units, or the medevac now flying in, let's see what it can do. Maybe it can stop. No, there's no upgrades going on there, but...
But he could snipe a couple of SCVs or maybe an add-on. No, he was going definitely after the SCVs. They've been evacuated.
Oh, okay, now engineering bay gets targeted. It wasn't researching anything, but...
But that's a good pickup either way, because Iznobest, as we said before, he's going with the double upgrades, so...
Will he make it though? Is he gonna... Is he gonna get it? No!
No! Target fire! He gets it, it burns down! Yes!
Oh my god. That was very close. So, yeah, Jeroen's Marines, I don't think Jeroen's Marines were actually shooting it, and Iznobest's entire army, Jeroen's army was chasing the medevac and not paying attention to the 2 Marines there, so... Well, he even dropped a mule to do the instant repair, but it was too late, so... exciting times there. Let's see if Jeroen tries desperately to catch back up on the upgrade race. So far, we see both players equal on the upgrades. If you take a look at the upgrade tab, yes, completely equal on the upgrades. And...
that should change quickly, because we have the +1 armor about to finish for Iznobest. He's trying to secure the 3rd base, right as Weiman moves out. Decent position for the tanks, not the best one. I would put the 2nd one on the high ground where the 2nd bunker is going down to. But,
okay, here comes...
And Weiman can flank right now.
Yeah, there's a sensor tower being built, but I don't think it will finish too late. Or actually, no, it'll finish just in time. But of course the information has already been confirmed. There is an army at your front, Iznobest. You have to deal with it. Not sure if I like Weiman's decision to move in here. Lots of tanks defensively set up. Standoff.
Weiman will have to find some way to break this, because the forces are really even. And as time goes by, if Iznobest does not forget to queue up those upgrades, which he should right now, by the way, then all he has to do is hang on, not take any economical damage, continue his macro, and he's going to be just fine.
Okay, Jeroen thinks better of it. Weiman retreats. Good call, because Iznobest was just flying in and out of the tank with a boosted medevac. And the danger has dissipated for now. And this means that Iznobest is actually sitting quite comfortably with a 3rd base, with a sentry tower there, actually getting ready to do his 2nd drop, this time with 2 medevacs full of marines. Actually, they might get, well, no, not intercepted, but there's an army... Jeroen's army is moving down, so...
this is a little bit sloppy by Iznobest. He should definitely, if he wants to be dropping, he should not be moving overland. Especially not on Catalina. I mean, there's such a big amount of airspace.
No! Oh god, actually 2 medevacs go down to the same... to the same turret there. So I don't think he was paying attention that much.
No, I don't think he was, but...
There's this happening.
At the very least, distracting and delaying Weiman from attacking.
Yeah. Not sure if it was worth 20 supply, though. because that's what it cost him.
This definitely was not worth it, and as I said before, Catalina has such a big amount of airspace that you should never be moving over open ground and risking your medevacs to be either spotted or shot down.
Actually, I think more and more that the drop was worth the 20 supply, because Jeroen has left a lot of SCVs there idling about, and he has retreated his army, so I think it has created some disarray within Jeroen's, in Weiman's ranks. So yes, although the drop wasn't executed very well, it was now worth its money.
Look at the income. 500 minerals compared to 2,000 only, and now he's gone back to mining, but that was a lot of lost mining time.
Definitely. Alright, some Marines scouting a fleet of medevacs and the army moving. This is very good, because now Iznobest knows where Weiman's army is. He will also scout the third base of Weiman that has gone down. Should do some damage to it, maybe kill an SCV.
We have a drop in the main base as well, once more.
Oh, once more. You were absolutely right. It looks like Jeroen is in somewhat of a bit of a pickle.
I mean, Iznobest, he's playing this map pretty much the way it's supposed to be played if you play Bio. You have to drop a lot, and you have to sprint ahead of your opponent economically and on the upgrades, and just delay until you are pretty much maxed out with better upgrades, more units, more production, and a fourth base, which is exactly what Iznobest is doing. I think he understands how much maps come into play in TVT very well. Yeah. He showed it on Nimbus as well.
Alright, there's no further drops in the pipeline for now for Iznobest, and Jeroen is definitely not out of this game yet. The supply is still pretty even. Weiman actually ahead in terms of workers, so if he makes sure that all of them are mining, he will have higher income than Iznobest. Jeroen actually moving out across the map. Let's take a look at the upgrade tab. Currently, Iznobest ahead in upgrades, although actually Jeroen has one vehicle armor, which of course, which Iznobest does not have, but he has hardly any vehicles. Oh, except he has lots of tanks actually. So, yeah, Jeroen's position is, in terms of upgrades, similar.
Yeah, and 3-3 started for Iznobest already. Iznobest, he has to not take an unnecessary trade or unnecessary engagement. He's trying to skirt around. I think he's trying to backstab that army, but that's going to take quite a long time. Oh, and it gets spotted as well. Nice. I don't think Weiman is going to be caught off guard right now, because if Iznobest can cut in between Weiman's army and the reinforcements, it's golden for him.
Alright, so I think this is all or nothing for Iznobest, because he's in the middle of Jeroen's armies. He cut it off as the main army, but if he somehow gets delayed and then squished by the main army coming in from behind...
Oh, the tanks are vulnerable in the back. The Marines have to come forward to defend those, as Weiman is just rushing forward, but the numbers are not in his favor still. A lot more Marines for Iznobest than Weiman. The tanks are going to be going down. Look at this. Iznobest standing strong with his perfect macro and just playing out this map so well.
Alright, some more Marines came in, sniped. I took out one more tank, but I think this is panic time for Weiman. Actually, I'm sure it's panic time for Weiman. I think he has been broken. I think this defense cannot be done. Maybe he should pull his SCVs to deal with these Marines, then it's just the tanks. Because there's not much else coming across the map for Iznobest, just a couple of Marines there, so...
Oh, look again. There's actually a lot of units streaming.
Alright, there we go.
2 tanks on the low ground, but not enough units for Weiman to deal with them. Iznobest is going to retreat, rendezvous with his Marines, and he can now go around from the east and knock out the third base. And he's getting his 4th, he's getting a 5th orbital. I mean, Iznobest in such a fantastic shape. He still has about 1 minute, I think, before his upgrades. Yeah, 1 minute before his 3-3 upgrades are done. Weiman stuck on 2-2 with 3-3 upgrades versus 2-2. You can kind of see where this story goes to.
Well, it's been a long and complex story, but I think you're right that Jeroen's story is going to be a bit shorter than Iznobest's today. But still, it's TVT. Very bad engagements can happen, but I think this might be the nail in the coffin for Jeroen. The small army that he had been starting to build up again gets destroyed by Iznobest. More production facilities going down, and I feel like this is the descent into madness for Jeroen, as he loses lots of units and again starts losing harvesters now.
Yeah, this is not looking good, and the army supply, is still not as low for Weiman as I would think, but he's never going to catch up. I mean, the only thing that would help him right now would be if he somehow gets a drop into Iznobest's base and knocks out like half of his barracks.
Right. Although we haven't seen much of any kind of drops from Weiman, I think this whole series. And
Yeah.
here comes another push. And I think this is going to be the third base for Yona. I think that might be it as far as his participation in DSCL Bootcamp is concerned, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's falling down his supply rapidly. He's going to lose the third base if those Marines actually, well, move to kill it.
Yona was dropping Marines on top of the tanks from IZNOBEST. Unfortunately, he did some damage, but still lots of tanks remaining there. Command center from the third dies for Jeroen, so he's gonna buckle down, be a real trooper, but I think this is definitely a losing battle for him.
That's pretty much it, because around the 24 to 26 minute mark, your natural base is going to be mined out. So, I mean, if we take a look at Weiman's income, it's down to a couple of hundred, and his opponent is just going to overwhelm him with macro. He doesn't even have to micro at this point. He has superior upgrades, he has superior economy, superior production. He just has to A move, pretty much.
Yep, it's 89 Marines and 9 tanks versus 33 Marines and 4 tanks. Not a lot of unit diversity in these TVTs. There's some Vikings, some medevacs, of course, but it's mostly just tanks and Marines right now. And okay, so here comes a drop from Jeroen. He's going to try and turn the tide, try and distract his opponent as much as possible, but where do you start? Because currently IZNOBEST is mining off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. So of course his main has run out by now and his mineral is nearly run out. So it's 3 bases, but Jeroen has 0 bases currently. Very healthy in mining. So although he might take out this 4th from IZNOBEST, or 5th I should say, it will not turn the tides, I think.
Yeah, he might get all of these SCVs actually, but it's not gonna matter anyways. IZNOBEST already defending the SCVs should get to work on repairing that command center.
Ooh, they won't actually. The command center could die. Yes, it will.
Yeah.
All right, nice. Saves the SCV. Oh no, actually no. Yeah, no. Oh no, it doesn't save it. Unfortunately, there
Goes down.
Oh, okay. So Weiman was trying to sneak an expansion at the top of the map, but he got scouted by this one Marine there.
IZNOBEST did leave a Marine there. He also has a Marine at the potential other main at the 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, should I say? So yeah, that's
and one at the 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock as well.
Yeah,
IZNO is
exactly.
scouting. I think IZNOBEST is on top of it this game.
And he does have a drop inside the main base, I think. Yeah, he just unloaded 2 full medevacs inside Weiman's main. And he's going to hit the natural as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And this is going to be it. The natural has been broken. Wyman says, crying eyes, I think, and he's going to GG out.
GG, well played. Weiman, sad to see you go, man. I think it's been great to watch you play. Thank you for trying so diligently to qualify for DSCL Bootcamp. But it's, well, time for you to leave the qualifier, unfortunately. Fortunately, though, there's another Terran that advances. IZNOBEST, NSSL winner. IZNOBEST, congratulations for advancing to the round of 4, so the semi-finals actually already.